Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Steve and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Polaris pressure regulator cooking system. This is an integrated all-in-one stove and it's ideal for short trips and quick pit stops where you just want to make yourself a cup of coffee. So once I find a good spot, I'm going to sit down and make a brew. Right, so this is the Firemaple Polaris pressure regulator cooking system. I've been using this for a few months now, but I thought I'd pack it away in its original box just so you can see how it would come. On the box itself, it's got a list of what's included, but we'll go over that shortly. Some specs, again, we'll cover those later in the video, and just a bit more information about the stove really. Let's open it up. So inside the box, you've got your instructions, and you've got the stove itself. This comes in a mesh bag, which is obviously handy for transporting it, but personally I haven't really found any use to use the bag myself. If you're worried about weight, it's just one extra thing you don't need to carry. The reason I don't worry about taking the bag out with me is because it's got this little latch here on the front, which secures the pot closed with the lid. This is really tight once it's sealed, and I've never experienced it coming unlatched in my bag. You have to push down on the handle to release it, and then lift the handle up again to open. Next, we've got the handle here. As you can see, it's part of the latch system. Once you clip it all the way back in, it clips here, and then that's really solid. There's a little button on the inside of the handle here. You just press that lightly, and that folds the handle back over. Next up, we've got the lid. It's transparent, which is really handy when cooking because it means you can see your food. It's also got a little vent here to let the steam out whilst you're cooking, and a little silicone handle so it doesn't get hot whilst you're handling it. Next inside, we've got the actual stove itself, and a pot stand, which is also included. This is really great if you don't want to use the integrated pot. You can use any standard frying pan or saucepan. Anything you've got in your camping gear will sit on top of that nicely. So next we've got the stove, and you can see here we've got the igniter, which is part of the piezo system. So you can click that and it provides a spark lighting your stove. On the underside, again, here's the little button you press for the igniter, and here is your simmer control valve. And finally, the main selling point of this stove is this little bit here. So this is a pressure regulated valve. Essentially what that means is it releases fuel from your canister consistently. So regardless of whether you've got a full can or a near empty can, your burn is going to be steady and consistent. So you might have experienced with some stoves that when you get near the end, you get a flickery flame that just doesn't cook evenly. This eliminates that from happening. Another benefit of the pressure regulated valve is it's more reliable in various conditions. So if it's windy or cold, again, this is just going to maintain a steady burn of your fuel. So next, inside here, we have the canister stand. So this folds into a nice little triangle. Just fold out 3 legs and stick your canister on that. And firstly, that's going to make your pot cooking system way more stable. It also just raises your canister off the ground. So if you are cooking in cold conditions, having your gas off the cold floor is just going to make it a little bit more efficient still. And finally, we've got the pot itself. As you can see, it's got a nice colourful neoprene sleeve. This adds extra insulation, which supposedly helps with the speed of your boiling. It also keeps your liquids warmer for longer inside the pot. Finally, on the base of the pot, you have a heat exchanger here. Essentially what this does is distribute the heat evenly throughout your pot. So rather than just having a burnt patch of food in the centre of your pot, you're going to have your food evenly cooked throughout. And again, this is going to help it boil that little bit quicker. One more feature is, as you can see again on the bottom here, you have these little grooves, I guess. These fit in line with these little bumps that you find on the stove here. So once you slot them together and give it a little twist, that secures your pot really firmly on the stove. So helps avoid any accidental knocks or bumps and spilling your food when you're cooking. Final feature of this pot is the internal volume markings. You've got markings for 500 ml, 750 and a litre. And if you're still working in Imperial, you've got 16 ounces and 32 ounces. Now let's take a look at some of the specs. So firstly, this measures approximately 13 centimeters by 21, and it has the capacity to hold a litre of water. It's made of a aluminium alloy and stainless steel, and it weighs 622 grams. That is without the gas canister. Personally, I've never found that weight to be an issue. It's barely noticeable in your pack, especially if you're just doing an overnight or a short weekend trip. The only time that might be a concern for me is if I was doing a long multi-day trek and I wanted to count every gram, but for everyday use, this is perfect. Finally, the price. So this retails for around £80. However, you can often find it on sale, and if you want to grab yourself a 10% discount, there is a unique code in the description below. So now that we've looked at all the features and specs, we're going to check how it performs. But before we do that, if you wouldn't mind giving this video a like and maybe subscribing to the channel as well, that'd be amazing. Thanks. So now it's time to put this all together and get some water boiling. Time to turn on the gas. All you need to do is turn this little valve anti-clockwise and press the little piezo igniter on the side here. So, get the gas going. So I've got half a litre of water here. We'll pour that in and get it boiling. So our water's boiled already, and that was really fast. The box says it takes 1 minute 50 to boil half a litre of water. It was my plan to time it, but I realised I'm filming on my phone and the stopwatch is also on my phone. So I didn't time it, but I can tell you it was extremely fast. Finally, let's talk about some of the pros and cons of this system. Starting with the pros, first of all, it's an integrated all-in-one system, which means everything nests neatly together, including your gas canister, making it really convenient when going away. The other features I love is the piezo igniter, which means you don't necessarily need to carry matches and lighter, but I would always do that anyway. But again, it just adds to the convenience of this system. Then you've got the pressure regulator and the ciber control on this system. Which is fantastic. It means you can do more than just boil water really, really fast, which this system does. It can boil half a litre in just under 2 minutes. Finally, there's the price. This typically retails for around £80, but you can find it cheaper, and there is a discount code in the description below. Now for the cons. I only really have one con with this system, which is the weight. It's not a deal breaker, but if Firemaple could make it a bit lighter, I think that'd be an excellent improvement. So overall, I think that is the main trade-off. You are paying far less, nearly half the price of, say, a jet boil, but you are carrying a little bit extra weight as a result of that. But overall, that really doesn't bother me, and I think this is an excellent system for any beginner camper or budget-conscious camper, and it's definitely the camping stove that I'm going to be using on most of my trips this year. So that's it. That's the Firemaple Polaris pressure-regulated cooking system. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to watch more, you can find my latest post right here. Thanks for watching.